The simulation hypothesis. Are we living in a computer simulation? What if everything you know, everything you experience is just a simulation? A mere replica of reality, crafted by an advanced civilization or higher intelligence. This unsettling proposition is known as the simulation hypothesis, and it challenges our fundamental understanding of the universe we inhabit. In this thought-provoking exploration, we will delve into the captivating idea that our reality might be a computer simulation. We'll examine the philosophical and scientific perspectives, weigh the evidence, and grapple with the profound implications of this mind-bending hypothesis. From ancient philosophical musings to cutting-edge scientific theories, we'll unravel the complexities of this concept and its potential to redefine our perception of existence itself. Background of the simulation hypothesis. The notion that our reality might be an elaborate simulation is not entirely new. Its roots can be traced back to ancient philosophical and religious traditions that grappled with the nature of existence and the possibility of an illusory world. Historical context. In ancient Greece, Plato's famous allegory of the cave posed the idea that our senses might be deceiving us and that the world we perceive as reality could be akin to shadows on a cave wall, mere projections of a higher truth. Similarly, the concept of Maya in Hinduism suggests that the physical world is an illusion, a veil obscuring the true nature of existence. Modern formulation. While these early musings hinted at the possibility of an illusory reality, the simulation hypothesis gained modern traction and rigorous philosophical treatment in the early 21st century. In 2003, the philosopher Nick Bostrom published his seminal work, Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?, which presented a formalized argument for the plausibility of our universe being a simulated reality. Bostrom's work sparked intense debate and renewed interest in the simulation hypothesis, propelling it from the realm of philosophical speculation to a subject of serious scientific and academic inquiry. His arguments and the implications they carry have captivated thinkers across disciplines, challenging our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality. Philosophical perspectives. At its core, the simulation hypothesis is a philosophical proposition, rooted in age-old questions about the nature of reality, perception, and our place in the cosmos. As such, it has sparked a wealth of philosophical discourse and analysis. Nick Bostrom's argument. At the heart of Bostrom's paper lies a thought-provoking trilemma, a set of three propositions, at least one of which must be true. Trilemma 1. Almost all civilizations at our level of development go extinct before becoming technologically mature. 2. The fraction of technologically mature civilizations that are interested in running ancestor simulations is almost zero. 3. We are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. Bostrom argues that if the first two propositions are false, if civilizations can reach technological maturity and have an interest in running ancestral simulations, then the third proposition must be true. We are likely living in a simulation. Implications. This trilemma carries profound implications. If we accept the premises and logic, it suggests that our reality, our universe, could be a mere simulation, a virtual construct created by an advanced technological civilization or higher intelligence. This challenges our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of existence and raises existential questions about the true fabric of our perceived reality. René Descartes' evil demon hypothesis. Bostrom's simulation argument resonates with philosophical skepticism, a tradition that questions the reliability of our senses and the nature of knowledge and reality. In the 17th century, the philosopher René Descartes proposed the idea of an evil demon, a powerful deceiver capable of manipulating our perceptions, leaving us unable to distinguish between reality and illusion. The simulation hypothesis can be seen as a modern iteration of the skeptical line of thought, with the advanced civilization or higher intelligence playing the role of the deceiver, crafting an intricate simulation that we mistake for reality. Brain in a vat. Another thought experiment that shares similarities with the simulation hypothesis is the brain in a vat scenario. This hypothetical situation posits that a disembodied brain could be kept alive and fed a simulated reality through electrical impulses, leading it to believe in a world that does not truly exist. While the simulation hypothesis operates on a grander, universal scale, the brain in a vat idea encapsulates the essence of the argument. Our perceived reality might be a fabrication, a convincing illusion sustained by an external force or intelligence. Philosophical skepticism. The simulation hypothesis fits within the broader tradition of philosophical skepticism, challenging our ability to know reality with certainty. Just as skeptics have questioned the reliability of our senses and the existence of an external world, the simulation hypothesis invites us to doubt the very fabric of our perceived existence. By embracing skepticism and entertaining the possibility of a simulated reality, we are forced to confront the limitations of our knowledge and the potential for deception or illusion on a grand scale. This philosophical exercise encourages us to question our most deeply held assumptions and to approach our understanding of reality with humility and an open mind. Scientific perspectives and evidence. While the simulation hypothesis originated from philosophical musings, its modern formulation has also sparked scientific interest and speculation. As our understanding of technology, computation, and the nature of the universe evolves, some scientists have explored the potential for our reality to be a simulated construct. Technological feasibility, computational power. One of the key considerations in assessing the simulation hypothesis is the computational power required to simulate a universe as vast and complex as our own. While such a feat might have seemed inconceivable in the past, the rapid advancement of computing technology and our ever-increasing ability to process and store enormous amounts of data have made the idea more plausible. Proponents of the simulation hypothesis argue that if an advanced civilization were to harness the full potential of future computing power, including quantum computing and other yet-to-be-discovered technologies, simulating a universe akin to ours might become feasible. Quantum computing. The advent of quantum computing, which harnesses the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations and process information, has opened new frontiers in computational power. Quantum computers have the potential to solve problems exponentially faster than classical computers, making previously inconceivable simulations a possibility. If an advanced civilization were to master quantum computing and leverage its immense computational capabilities, the feasibility of simulating a universe like ours could become a reality. Cosmological evidence. Fine-tuning argument. Some proponents of the simulation hypothesis point to the remarkable fine-tuning of the universe as potential evidence for a designed or simulated reality. The laws of physics, the fundamental constants, and the initial conditions of the universe seem to be exquisitely calibrated to allow for the existence of complex structures, including life itself. This apparent fine-tuning has led some scientists to propose the idea of a cosmic designer or a higher intelligence responsible for setting the parameters of our universe. In the context of the simulation hypothesis, this fine-tuning could be interpreted as evidence of a simulated reality, carefully constructed by an advanced civilization or higher intelligence to support the emergence of complex structures and ultimately conscious observers like ourselves. Digital physics. Another intriguing scientific perspective that lends credence to the simulation hypothesis is the idea of digital physics. This concept suggests that the universe, at its most fundamental level, might have a discrete, digital structure akin to a computer simulation. Proponents of digital physics argue that the seemingly continuous nature of space, time, and matter might be an illusion, and that reality is ultimately composed of discrete units of information, much like the pixels that make up a digital image or the bits that comprise a computer program. If this digital physics hypothesis proves to be correct, it would lend strong support to the notion that our universe could indeed be a vast computational simulation, governed by the laws and constraints of an underlying digital architecture. Experiments and observations. Matrix-like glitches. While not definitive evidence, some observers have reported anomalies or glitches in our reality that they interpret as potential signs of a simulated universe. These anomalies range from strange visual phenomena, such as objects appearing or disappearing in inexplicable ways, to seemingly impossible occurrences that defy the laws of physics as we understand them. While these reported glitches are often anecdotal and difficult to verify scientifically, proponents of the simulation hypothesis point to them as potential evidence of errors or imperfections in the underlying code or computational infrastructure of our simulated reality. Holographic principle. Another intriguing scientific concept that has been linked to the simulation hypothesis is the holographic principle. This principle, derived from theoretical physics and string theory, suggests that the information describing a three-dimensional volumetric space might be encoded on a two-dimensional surface, much like a hologram. If our universe operates according to the holographic principle, It could mean that our three-dimensional reality is a mere projection or holographic representation of information encoded on a lower-dimensional surface. This idea resonates with the simulation hypothesis, as it suggests that our perceived three-dimensional universe could be a projection or simulation generated from a two-dimensional code or computational substrate. While the holographic principle is an active area of research in theoretical physics, its potential implications for the simulation hypothesis are profound. If our universe indeed operates according to holographic principles, it could provide a plausible mechanism for an advanced civilization or higher intelligence to simulate our reality using a lower-dimensional computational framework. Counterarguments and criticisms. Despite the intriguing arguments and evidence supporting the simulation hypothesis, it has also faced significant criticism and counterarguments from various philosophical and scientific perspectives. Occam's razor. One of the fundamental principles invoked by critics of the simulation hypothesis is Occam's razor, which states that among competing hypotheses, the simplest explanation that accounts for the observed phenomena should be preferred. Critics argue that positing the existence of an advanced civilization or higher intelligence capable of simulating our entire universe is a more complex and less parsimonious explanation compared to accepting our universe as a self-contained reality. From this perspective, the simulation hypothesis introduces unnecessary complexities and entities without providing a more compelling or explanatory model than our current understanding of the universe as a singular, self-existing entity governed by the laws of physics. Empirical testability. Another criticism leveled against the simulation hypothesis is its lack of empirical testability. Since we are purportedly within the simulation, it becomes challenging, if not impossible, to devise experiments or observations that could definitively confirm or refute the hypothesis. Critics argue that for a hypothesis to be scientifically valid, it must be falsifiable. There must be a conceivable way to test and potentially disprove it through empirical means. Without this empirical testability, the simulation hypothesis risks becoming an unfalsifiable proposition, rendering it unproductive for scientific progress and understanding. Philosophical objections. Beyond scientific criticisms, some philosophers have raised objections to the simulation hypothesis on conceptual and ethical grounds. One argument posits that even if we are living in a simulated reality, it does not fundamentally change the nature of our lived experiences, our consciousness, or our ethical and moral responsibilities. From this perspective, the simulation hypothesis might be an interesting intellectual exercise, but it has limited practical implications for how we navigate and make sense of our subjective realities. Our ethical obligations, the pursuit of knowledge, and the richness of human experience remain unchanged, regardless of whether our reality is simulated or not. Other philosophical objections concern the implications of the simulation hypothesis for concepts such as free will and the nature of consciousness. If our reality is indeed a simulation, does that mean our choices and actions are predetermined by the code or parameters of the simulation? And if our consciousness is itself a simulated construct, what does that mean for the nature of subjective experience and the question of whether consciousness can truly arise from purely computational processes? These philosophical objections highlight the profound implications of the simulation hypothesis and the need for rigorous examination of its conceptual foundations and consequences. Implications, if true. If the simulation hypothesis were to be proven true, it would have far-reaching implications for our understanding of existence, our place in the cosmos, and the very nature of reality itself. Existential implications. Perhaps the most profound implication of the simulation hypothesis is its impact on our existential perspectives and sense of self. If we are indeed living in a simulated reality, it challenges our notions of free will, individuality, and the inherent meaning or purpose of our existence. Are we mere constructs within a vast computational framework, our actions and experiences predetermined by the code or parameters of the simulation? Or do we possess genuine agency and free will within the confines of this simulated reality? These existential questions strike at the core of our human experience and force us to reevaluate our sense of self and the nature of consciousness. Additionally, the simulation hypothesis raises questions about the nature of our perceived reality and the universe we inhabit. If our universe is a simulation, does that mean there are higher layers of reality or base realities from which our simulation was derived? And if so, what is the nature of those higher realities? And what implications does that have for our understanding of the fundamental laws and principles that govern existence? Ethical and moral implications. The simulation hypothesis also carries significant ethical and moral implications. If we are indeed simulated beings, it raises questions about our moral status and the ethical obligations of our potential creators or simulators. Do simulated beings possess inherent moral value and rights akin to biological entities? If so, what ethical responsibilities do the creators or simulators of our reality have towards us? These questions touch on complex issues of artificial intelligence ethics, the treatment of simulated or artificially created beings, and the boundaries of moral consideration. Furthermore, the simulation hypothesis could have profound implications for our understanding of ethics and moral philosophy itself. If our reality is a simulation, are our moral frameworks and ethical systems themselves simulated constructs, or do they possess an objective, transcendent quality that extends beyond the confines of our simulated existence? Practical implications. Beyond the existential and ethical implications, the simulation hypothesis could also have practical implications for various fields of study and technological development. In the realm of artificial intelligence and virtual reality, the simulation hypothesis could inform our approaches to creating increasingly sophisticated simulated environments and artificial agents. If our reality is indeed a simulation, it could provide insights into the principles and mechanisms underlying the creation and maintenance of such simulated worlds. Additionally, the simulation hypothesis could have implications for fields like computational ethics, which explores the ethical considerations surrounding the development and deployment of advanced computational systems. If our reality is a simulation, it could shed light on the ethical responsibilities and potential consequences of creating and managing simulated environments and entities. Moreover, the simulation hypothesis could influence our understanding of the nature of information, computation, and the fundamental limits of what can be simulated or computed. If our universe is a simulation, it could provide clues about the underlying computational architecture and constraints that govern its operation, potentially informing our approaches to fields like quantum computing and theoretical computer science. The simulation hypothesis is a profoundly thought-provoking concept that challenges our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality. Throughout this exploration, we have examined the philosophical origins and modern formulations of this idea, weighed the scientific perspectives and evidence, and grappled with the profound implications it carries. From ancient philosophical musings to cutting-edge scientific theories, the simulation hypothesis has captivated thinkers across disciplines, inviting us to question the very fabric of our perceived existence. While the arguments and evidence presented are fascinating, they also underscore the inherent limitations of our knowledge and the potential for deception or illusion on a grand scale. Ultimately, the simulation hypothesis reminds us to approach our understanding of reality with humility and an open mind. It encourages us to embrace skepticism, to challenge our assumptions, and to remain curious explorers in the vast expanse of the unknown. As we venture into these metaphysical depths, we are confronted with existential questions that strike at the core of our human experience. The simulation hypothesis invites us to ponder the nature of our consciousness, the boundaries of our perceived reality, and the potential existence of higher layers of existence beyond our comprehension. While the implications of the simulation hypothesis are profound, they also ignite a sense of wonder and awe at the mysteries that lie at the intersection of philosophy, science, and the human pursuit of knowledge. Regardless of whether our reality is a simulation or not, the mere act of entertaining this possibility expands the horizons of our intellectual and existential curiosity. As we conclude this journey through the simulation hypothesis, I encourage you, the listeners, to engage with these ideas, to share your thoughts and perspectives, and to continue exploring the depths of this captivating concept. Leave your comments and reflections below, and join the broader conversation surrounding the nature of reality and our place within it. If you found this exploration thought-provoking and illuminating, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more thought-provoking content on philosophy, science, and the nature of reality. Together, we can embark on a collective journey of intellectual discovery, challenging our assumptions and expanding the boundaries of our understanding. Thank you for joining me on this metaphysical adventure into the realms of the simulation hypothesis.